If you want to play college soccer and you're a high school athlete right now trying to get exposure, trying to get noticed and stand out on the field, then these tips are for you. I'm going to run you through the 5 things that I wish that I knew when I was in high school that now I'm telling to my guys that I work with today. So the first topic is the idea of thinking that the coach knows you when you show up at ID camps or showcases. Because here's the hard truth. You might have gotten a text, you might have gotten a compliment, he might know your first name, but he doesn't know you, and he's not just looking at you at an ID camp or showcase, he's looking at all the guys on the field. He's trying to find the best player for his system. He doesn't have any loyalty to you just because you went back and forth on a few emails. I wish I knew that I had to do more. I had to make sure I continued to stand out at these ID camps, at these showcases, every game that I played, because I had no reason to be the special one that the coach picked. No, he just wants the best player in his team, and that's something you need to know. Always focus on standing out. Do not think that the coach has loyalties to you as a recruit. The second thing that I wish that I knew, and the guys that I am working with that are in high school trying to play in college now, this is probably the first thing that I'm putting onto them. And it's the idea of making sure you're training very intentionally. Because from what I see and what I used to do, it's pretty easy to go out there and do a ball master drill, get some juggles, hit some long pings with your friends, whatever it may be. But are those things actually pushing you forwards to who you want to be on the field? And this is something that you don't even see when you get to the college game and even the pro game sometimes. Some guys are still missing this. So when you get out to the field, make sure you're intentional. You don't have to plan it and write some session or have some perfect game plan for what you're going to do when you show up to train. But you do need to make sure that you're thinking about who am I as a player, where am I usually on the field, what actions do I want to make 10 times better, and doing those specifically. Because yes, the ball masteries are good for you. Yes, juggling is great for you. And when you show up to the fields with a group playing small side, cool, absolutely. You need to continue to do that stuff. But if you're not being intentional in some ways, as in if you're a winger, you're not crossing the ball, as if you're a defender, you're not working on long pings to your outside back, or maybe for me, I was a 6, I rarely worked on actually turning. And that was just holding me back from the best player that I could have been. So I'm encouraging anyone that wants to play at the next level, please train intentional, find specific game moments that you want to work on, and repeat those ruthlessly. The third one, thinking that you're just unlucky and that coaches aren't noticing you for some reason. Now, I get this 100% because I thought the same thing. Actually, one of the worst pieces of advice I ever received was from a guy that I knew that went and played D1. He came back home and we were training together and he said, "You're just as good as my teammates. You should go D1." And I'll tell you why that killed my trajectory, because it put me in this mindset of I am good enough and there's just some external force out there that's keeping me from getting recruited. Because I had the skills, right? I was a perfect soccer player and I was just the unlucky one that wasn't getting offers. But here's the truth, guys are getting offers and there's a reason that you're not getting offers. And this is something that I took with me throughout the rest of my career, that the truth is if I was good enough, I would have achieved whatever I wanted to achieve. I would have gotten seen by that college. I would have got seen by that professional team if I really was good enough. And so you're gonna go down in this spiral of thinking that you're just as good as that guy, that he got a D1 offer, but you didn't. So you're just the unlucky one. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm also grateful to say it, that you need to hear it's not because you're unlucky, it's because you're not standing out. You're not giving a reason for these coaches to pick you over, I hate to say it, 1,000 other guys that are in your position. You're not the only one that's performing decent or standing out or working hard. Touching on that, the fourth thing that I wish I knew is to stop comparing your offers to other people's offers. And again, this is very similar to the last one, where if you see a guy that got a D2 offer, a D3 offer, a D1 offer, don't think that just because you're a similar player to him that you deserve that offer the same. Everyone is a different player. Everyone markets themselves to coaches differently. Just because in practice you can juggle better than him or beat him in a game of 2-touch does not mean that a coach cares about that and wants you on their team. You need to find something special, something that fits who you are as a player, your size, your attributes, your speed, your intelligence, your position, and emphasize that. Because I'll tell you what never worked for me is talking to my family or friends and pulling up some guy's Instagram post and saying, look, this is the kid that I beat yesterday in the game and I way better than him. Look at how he got an offer. And sure, it felt good in the moment, everyone nodding their heads like, yeah, man, that is crazy. Like you deserve that just as much. What are these guys sending out in emails that's different than what you're doing? The truth is nothing. He was just a more standout player overall. The coaches saw something better in him. And even if it was the case that we were the exact same player and I was just as good, if not better than him, what does it matter? I didn't get the offer and he did. So this is a recurring theme that I'm trying to express to guys because it's something that no one had the heart to tell me when I was in high school. And it's just, the truth is, you're just not good enough right now. And if you are, you don't know how to use your talent to stand out. And those are two different things. But one of those is missing from your game. That's why you're not getting the exposure that you think you deserve. And the fifth one, probably the most important one that I wish that I knew, was the trap of falling into focusing on college exposure rather than my personal development as a player is what kept me from making real progress. And if you haven't caught it already, a theme of this video is that you just probably aren't standing out enough, and that's 100% true for this as well. All the time that I spent thinking that it was my email templates, thinking that the coaches just were on break or they were too busy to see me, they were all just keeping me from what really mattered. And what really mattered was my game performances, my training, my mentality, my plan that I had, the resources that I used from guys that have already been there before to help me. Those were all the things that really mattered and what I should have really been focusing on. But I spent so much time complaining about the recruiting process, trying to research if a recruiting agency was the answer for me, trying to see, hey, what did you do different than me in the email, or what music did you use in your highlight video that made you stand out? And it just wasn't any of this, and all of this was a distraction. So yes, sending emails is important, and I probably encourage you to consistently continue to send emails, because the truth is, coaches do need to see your name even if you're not good enough. You need them to know about you still. But all the time that you spend outside of just actually taking action and sending emails is probably wasted, because you're spending a lot of time focusing on things that don't matter for you. What matters for you, getting out to the fields, finding a plan for you, working with someone that probably knows better than you, and doing that religiously over and over again. And I hope my message is being clear, because if you can take something from this that I never understood, which is just you're probably not at the level yet and you need to find something different to stand out more, then I take that as a win in my books. That was the goal of this video. So look, if you enjoyed this or you agree with this perspective, then head over to my Instagram, check out some of my content. I've got a lot of stuff over there that talks about more what you can do to make sure you are standing out as a player. So it's linked in the description. Send me a message if you think this helped. Talk to you soon.